Ladies and gentlemen, good day to all of you. Once again, you are welcome here on the Evil Consciences platform. In international news, Yemen. Yemeni forces have just responded harshly with a surgical strike against Israel. They struck Israel. An Israeli ship was hit. You know that on the 7th of July, 2025, Israel bombed Yemeni forces. Yes, they were bombed. Yes, under some pretext or another. I don't know what. In any case, Israel has its own arguments. But Yemen had promised that they would retaliate, that they would deliver a response. And you should know that Yemen has blocked Israeli maritime navigation in the Red Sea, forbidding Israeli ships from passing through. Since Yemen, which shares the mindset of Iran and also supports Palestine, believes that Israel has no right to do what they are doing. So they have just retaliated, and it's very serious. This has a major impact on Israel. So, in this video conference, this is the current event we are going to discuss. But before we continue, please share the video conference as much as possible. Give it lots of likes. There you go. And don't forget to check out the Play Store or Apple Store. You can easily download the official Moyen Express application now. It's for Africa. So, according to official information, the Yemeni armed forces have confirmed that they targeted and sank a ship that was supplying Israel. This happened on the 7th of July. Yes, the 7th of July, 2025. So, here is the content of the statement. In other words, they finished carrying out the action and then made a statement. I'm telling you, the Middle East, the Middle and Near East, there's a great risk of things flaring up. What happened in the past, let me repeat, was minor. What is coming is very serious, because on one side you have a coalition rising up against another coalition. It's not just a matter of religion. Number, if some people see it from a religious perspective, it's not just a matter of religion. It almost has nothing to do with that anymore. As such, we have the other bloc, Yemen with the Houthis, we have Iran, we have others, and we have Russia and China who are in their bloc. And on the other side, we have Israel, the United States, France, and others who are in their bloc. It's the continuation of the world's bipolarization that is causing everything we are seeing in the Near and Middle East. Even if the religious aspect has a much greater influence on the decisions of those countries that claim to be part of the Islamic Revolution. So, here is the content of their statement. Share the video conference with me. They say the following: in support of the oppressed Palestinian people and its brave fighters, and reaffirming the continuation of the navigation ban imposed on the Israeli enemy in the Red Sea and the Arabian Sea. So, these two seas, we have banned them to seas. The naval forces, along with the missile and drone forces of the Yemeni armed forces, successfully targeted the commercial ship, the Magic 6, which is owned by a company that has demonstrably violated the established ban on accessing the Israeli port in occupied Palestine. This action underscores their commitment to the ongoing conflict. The operation was carried out with 2 unmanned boats. And guys, they are tough. They use unmanned boats. I'm telling you, this is another level, a whole new level. They too, on that side, are crazy. They're totally hardcore. They've developed technologies to allow them to fight people they consider their sworn enemies. And the problem is, they don't tolerate. They have no mercy in their hearts. Yeah. So they say the operation was carried out with 2 unmanned boats, 5 ballistic and cruise missiles, and 3 drones. Yeah, that's what they used. They sank it. They targeted and sank the Israeli ship. That ship is part of Israel's heritage, part of Israel's arsenal. But as they keep sinking Israeli ships, Israel's economy is collapsing. Like right now, As we speak, Netanyahu was received at the White House like a leader, like a king, like a little prince, a spoiled prince. So maybe they'll see what they can do, put a lot of resources at his disposal, since America says they have plenty of resources. But it's just incredible to see Israel opening up several fronts at the same time. Several fronts at once. But can Israel hold on? Let's go. Let's continue with the statement from the Yemeni forces. I remind you once again that the Yemeni forces are very angry about the fact that Israel had attacked Iran. So, and they read this, that the ship was hit directly from the water. That ship was hit directly. Water seeped in. By the grace and power of God, the Magic 6 ship has completely sunk. Our forces allowed the crew to disembark safely. So they sank the ship and had the crew disembark safely in order to get their hands on them. I mean, I just don't understand these people, you know. He goes on to say, our operations will continue to target the depths of the Israeli entity in occupied Palestine to prevent its navigation in the Red Sea and the Arabian Sea and to disrupt the port of al-Rasharash until the aggression against Gaza ends and the blockade is lifted. That's their objective. Israel must stop this action against Gaza. The blockade must be lifted. That's their objective. I'm telling you, this situation is far from over. And Benjamin Netanyahu is not ready to give up on the situation. He is not ready to give up. That's why, by the way, he immediately rushed off to the United States of America. He went to meet with Donald Trump and then with officials from the American military. Strict and serious decisions are going to be made, and these decisions will be used to crack down on Israel's enemies. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the top story in international news. Thank you for sharing it as much as possible. I'll be back with more news shortly. And that was the voice of your humble servant, the one and only Samouraï.